No doubt your pace of life's looking a little bit different these days, and hopefully one thing that's looking a little bit different and maybe even extra for you is these daily devotions. And so even if you're not able to watch these videos, would really encourage you to be reading your Bible every day. And I was just reading in Genesis 1. You'll know the creation story very well. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and it goes through the story of creation and how God says that it's good. um, Shortly after the creation story, you see in Genesis 2 that then God creates humanity, and he says that's good as well, and he names Adam. He then takes Adam and he collaborates with him, and he asks him to start naming animals as well, and whatever he names them, it sticks for the names of the animals. And there's a few things that you see in this story in Genesis. The first is this, is that we're called to create. We serve a God who is a creative God, and in this season, depending on what your time's looking like, you might be thinking, wow, I'm really struggling with the way life's shifting a little bit. But actually there's an opportunity for you to reflect something of God. There's a chance for you to create, be creative in the way that you speak to each other, creative in the way that we engage as a church. But I'm sure you've heard all of those things already, but also there's a chance for you to create something good in your household, to create something good in your own lives, whether that's picking up a new skill, whether that's learning a new language, maybe that's taking up a new hobby, or even interacting online in a different way. It's interesting that we spend so much time warning people about social media, yet that's the way we're starting to engage more during this season. And so we can get creative about those things. The second thing you see is that God collaborates with us. It's not just that God creates, it's not just that God brings something good to us, but he asks us to join in with it. And so even in this season, as we communicate through video message, whether we meet online, we're talking about the words of hope that God brings to us, but also there's a chance for you to collaborate within that actually you don't have to be somebody who's in a situation where all this stuff's happening, that you can take control of some aspects and go, actually, I'm going to be someone who's life-giving, I'm going to be someone who's encouraging, I'm going to take an opportunity here to collaborate with the story of hope, to collaborate with the message of hope. But often when we think about Christianity, we think, this is all about the good times, that nothing ever goes wrong. But actually it's through hardship that God speaks to us. It's through hardship that God creates something good in our world, where maybe we think it was wasted, or there was nothing good that could have come of this. Actually, that's where God speaks to us. But we get to collaborate in those things as well. And the third thing is to encourage. So we get to create, we get to collaborate, but we get to encourage as well. That actually there's a whole narrative in the nation that's focusing on the negative. It's so easy to fall into that. It's an oversaturated market. And actually we, in the place of faith, get to speak hope, life, and love over each other. So I'd encourage you to get creative in your life. So create, to collaborate, to think about what you can do to join with others, what you can do to speak life and hope, but also to encourage. Actually, there might be some unique opportunities where you can encourage people that you've never encouraged before. You can encourage in ways like you've never encouraged before. That might be putting a message through somebody's letterbox. That might be thanking your postman or post lady who turns up on time on your door every single day. It might be the person that delivers food to you, or somebody's helped you in some way, or even one of the amazing NHS staff. Whatever it might be, can we find ways to encourage across this season and not buy into a negative narrative? That's not being naive. It's not saying that things aren't a struggle or a tension for us, but actually to speak faith, life, and hope, to be life-giving by creating, collaborating, and encouraging. Have an amazing day.